Hey, it's DeagleBeagle. I did see Jamie Boyt do a video on Hawlucha, but I'm doing a lot of videos on Pokemon, not just Pokemon that I feel like didn't cover it fully or cover it probably the best way you should use it. I do know Jamie Boyt did cover Hawlucha, but I think I did make a comment saying that Hawlucha um, should probably be used with whatchamacallit, Psychic Seed with Indeedee. I mean, you can use Sitrus like he was showing, but come on now. I would probably use Psychic Seed. Sitrus would not activate the Unburden instantly, and it wouldn't give it a special defense increase like Psychic Seed. So maybe he overlooked this. I did get a lot of. I'll just thumb up my own comment. I was using Hawlucha except with Psychic Seed and DD. It did do very well, and I used Detect over Roost. Even though you don't have to use Detect on it, you could use Roost on it or whatever, possibly, but it's not that bulky though to be using Roost with, even with Psychic Seed and Bulk Up. I mean, maybe to survive like a hit like an ice move that would otherwise super affected, but I don't know. I mean, in general, I don't think it's that bulky to be roosting with it. Um, and Unburden's really good, especially in the back with Hawlucha, or even in the front, but I think in the back it might be even a little bit better because you can finish off Pokemon, and in the front too, they don't normally have Tailwind or Tailwind, I guess, set up already. So, I mean, in some ways that makes it better because you already outspeed them most likely. But it's like a Pokemon that's this fast is like over fast until you need that much speed. So, like, it is good though versus Tailwind teams. If they have Tailwind up, you still outspeed Garchomp. Not with this Hawlucha, but with mine, you still outspeed it and can bulk up versus Garchomp, survive its whatever Dragon Claw or Rock Slide, or other Pokemon too. You normally can survive one hit from and hit back with a Drain Punch to get a lot of your HP back. So I don't even think you need Roost with it because you should be trying to gain your HP back with Drain Punch, in my opinion, if you really want that HP back. Um, it can get fake outed. You might want Detect on it. I don't think I would use it any other way than Psychic Seed. I suppose you could use Sitrus, but you would get the most out of it with Indeedee with Psychic Seed. Or I don't think I would recommend Pincurchin with Electric Seed on this because Pincurchin is not that good in general. It's can be maybe, but probably not. Um, so this is another idea. I think Endure Reversal is really underrated with Pokemon in general. This is so fast. All of these are basically the same stats. I made them 170 speed with Adamant. If you were to give it Jolly, it's pointless because if you look at the speed tiers, let's look at my speed tiers. What I did was I took the old trainer tower information and edited it to take out all the old information. So I deleted a lot of irrelevant stuff. That's why you see all these blanks here. Okay, so let's go down to, did I even put Hawlucha in here? 170, oh, I didn't. I need to put it for the Adamant one, but it would be 340 speed with Unburden. Or I should really talk about how fast it is without Unburden to compare it to if they had Tailwind up. So if they had Tailwind up, I did put this in it. If it's bold, it means it's more usually going to be more relevant or important to study or remember. Hawlucha isn't used that much, so I don't think people need to focus that much on it, at least not yet, but it could be pretty good. So this outspeeds Garchomp. All Jolly would do is outspeed like neutral speed Dondozo, Cyclizar, Quick Feet, positive speed Nature, Ursaring. It would outspeed, Gengar, Raichu, Lycanroc. Well, maybe it might be useful now actually for Lycanroc because That's actually common now with Tyranitar, so I might actually even recommend Jolly with it, because otherwise you get outsped and Rock Slide, and it only does neutral damage, but it could flinch you if you're slower, and it would hit you before you get that bulk up, or before you can Drain Punch their Tyranitar or whatever you want to do, Drain Punch their Lycanroc. Rock. I would be hesitant Drain Punching their Tyranitar because a lot of them are Terra flying. So maybe I would probably just and bulk up and or just Drain Punch the Lycanroc and see if their Tyranitar is going to Terra Flying or not. And if it's not by turn 1, I mean, it could Terra Flying turn 2, but chances are if it was going to Terra Flying, it would have done it turn 1. So then, oh yeah, you also outspeed Mousehold and Tailwind. So maybe it's useful. Persian's not really. You would outspeed Floatzel if they use Floatzel in Swift Swim, or Scarf Abomasnow and Tailwind, and Scarf Tyranitar and Tailwind. But I don't know. It's probably mostly useful for a few of these Pokemon in Tailwind, but mostly I think the Lycanroc. So it depends. When I used Hawlucha was before Lycanroc Tar was a common combo, and I know why it's a common combo because look at all the Intimidators. This is me going into a tangent. Like most of the good Intimidators are weak to Rock, like Gyarados, Arcanine, Salamence, Staraptor. Crocodile's weak to a lot of things, so I don't think I would recommend it. Luxray's not very good, doesn't have very good stats. Quillfish, not very good stats, even though it does get Eviolite. Stantler, not very good stats. So it's really just like the main good Intimidators, I think, are the Tauroses. One of the Tauroses, probably the water one's probably the best because it even resist Rock. It has a second stab, and you can boost it in rain. But anyways, here's another way on how to use Hawlucha. Reversal Psychic Seed with... Oh, I meant to put Endure, I think, on it instead of Detect. And then another idea, too, is you could use Encore. So whenever you're not using Reversal, I would probably use Terra Flying because you'll use Acrobatics more than any other move on average. So if you want, you could use Jolly on one of these ones, but if you're gonna use Jolly, I would probably make it you could use 187 max speed to outspeed Scarf Tar, but it's so uncommon that if I used it personally, I don't know how often Floatzel's used. I might just make it barely outspeed Floatzel, give it like 184 speed or something and put the rest in bulk. But they could actually use Scarf Tar with Lycanroc, so you might want to just keep it 187 speed. And then what else? I'm surprised I don't see more of that. I see mostly just Terra Flying, Assault Vest Tar, which is good, but I think Scarf could be good too for getting the extra chance of flinching with the 2 Rock Slides. Okay, so Encore, by the way, is pretty good because this is so fast. You could Encore almost anything. So let's just pretend their Murkrow, for example, Tailwinds. Well, you could Encore their Murkrow into Tailwinding again. Encore, though, is a really good. It's potentially a really good move, but if it's open team sheets, they know you have Encore. So it's probably not as good if it's open team sheet because they can just switch out and avoid the Encore, but it does at least force a switch, and if they do use Bulk Up or whatever, you can Encore that. So this could be pretty good. Hawlucha could use something like Flying Press, not really for the flying and fire combination because flying and fighting combination because I checked and it's not that useful for super affecting anything, I think, but I'm pretty sure versus Pokemon like Among Us Now, versus Among Us, you would probably want acrobatics, or versus other Pokemon, you would usually want to use a fighting move. So I think there used to be Pokemon that were super effective by both um, flying and fighting. I'm trying to think of a Pokemon. There's not a lot that I can really think of. Maybe like Feral Thorn type of Pokemon, like a Grass Steel type. But I think a lot of those Pokemon aren't used anymore. So you wouldn't really use Flying Press like a freeze dry, where it's like they're 4 times a week. Um, you would use this mostly so that you don't lower your defenses with close combat, and it is pretty powerful. It can miss 5% of the time, but overall it's pretty good in general. It's mostly so that you have a fighting move in case you don't have 1 HP for reversal. You might want a fighting move. This one's more maybe dedicated towards the reversal gimmick, even though that is vulnerable to sorry, to priority moves. But if you have Psychic Terrain up and you Terra Fighting, they cannot hit you with a priority move unless they change the terrain. So this is actually protected. You don't need a Terra Ghost because normally Psychic Terrain will still be up, and you can just reversal for 200 power and plus stab plus the Terra Fighting, so that should one-shot nearly anything. You don't have to Terra Fighting if you don't want to. Like, it's powerful enough to like one-shot a lot of Pokemon because it's like the same like power as Pop Bomb, even though it doesn't have Technician. So hopefully you like watching this video about Hawlucha. Thanks for watching.